When was the last time you woke up and felt genuinely well? Not just fine, not simply able to get through the day, but clear-headed, energetic, steady on your feet, and confident in your own body. For many men over 60, that feeling becomes less common. Energy drops, sleep becomes lighter, the legs may feel weaker, the mind may feel less sharp, and it is easy to say this is just what happens with age. But that is not the whole story. Age does change the body, yet the speed and degree of decline are not the same for everyone. Some everyday habits can quietly affect your strength, sleep, mood, mobility, and independence. And the difficult part is that these habits often look normal. In this video, we are looking at 5 quiet habits that men over 60 should pay attention to. Alcohol is only number 5. And the final habit may surprise you because many people do it for hours every day without thinking of it as a health risk. Let us begin with number 5, excessive alcohol. This is not about saying that every person who drinks alcohol will develop a health problem. But drinking too much, especially several drinks in a short period, can place extra strain on the body. Alcohol affects more than the liver. It can disturb sleep, it may raise blood pressure, it can interact with medicines, it may worsen balance and increase the risk of falls. After 60, a fall can affect more than one day. It can threaten your mobility, confidence, and ability to remain independent. As you get older, alcohol may affect you differently because body composition, medicines, and underlying health conditions can change. Ask yourself this question. Over the past week, were there evenings when one drink quietly became 3 or 4? Or do you regularly use alcohol to relax, fall asleep, or escape stress? That pattern is worth noticing. What matters is becoming aware of what you drink, how often you drink, and why you reach for it. If you drink, consider having alcohol-free days, slowing your pace, and avoiding large amounts in one sitting. If alcohol is affecting your sleep, balance, medicines, blood pressure, or daily life, get it checked. But alcohol is only the beginning. Stay with me, because the next habit can affect your health even when you never drink, and men carry it for years. Number 4 is chronic stress. Not the brief stress you feel before an appointment or an important decision. The concern is stress that becomes part of everyday life. You wake with it, you carry it through the afternoon, and even when the house is quiet at night, your mind is still working. Ask yourself this. Do you often feel tense even when nothing urgent is happening? Do small problems irritate you more than they used to? Or do you lie in bed thinking about money, family, health, or responsibilities you cannot switch off? Persistent stress can affect the body in several ways. Stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline are useful in short bursts. They help you respond to danger or pressure. But when stress continues for weeks or months, it may contribute to higher blood pressure, poorer sleep, changes in blood sugar, muscle tension, and unhealthy coping habits. After 60, those effects can reach into daily life. Poor sleep can leave you too tired to walk. Constant tension can make you withdraw from people. You may exercise less, eat poorly, or depend more on alcohol simply because you're trying to feel better. Managing stress is not about becoming completely calm. It is about giving your body regular chances to recover. A 10-minute walk, slow breathing, time in prayer or quiet reflection, gardening, listening to music, or one honest conversation with someone you trust. Small actions can help interrupt the cycle, but the next habit is different because sometimes the problem is not only what you are carrying, it is carrying it alone. Number 3 is social isolation and loneliness. They are related, but they are not exactly the same. Social isolation means having too little contact with people. Loneliness is the painful feeling that the connection you need is missing. You can live alone without feeling lonely, and you can live with family and still feel deeply disconnected. Imagine a man in his 60s who had colleagues, neighbors, relatives, and friends around him. Then retirement comes, the children are busy, old friends move away, his days become quieter. At first, it feels peaceful. Months later, he realizes there is hardly anyone he speaks to honestly. Ask yourself another question. If you had a difficult day tomorrow, who would you call? If you cannot think of 1 or 2 people, that is worth noticing. Research has linked social isolation and loneliness with poorer physical and mental health and a higher risk of early death. Connection matters because it can support activity, routines, help seeking, and a sense of purpose. Start small, call an old friend, visit a neighbor, join a walking group, community activity, or place of worship if that suits you. Real connection does not require a large circle, it requires meaningful contact. And the next habit often becomes worse when stress, loneliness, and isolation are already present. It happens at night, and men underestimate how much it can affect the following day, your energy, judgment, and physical strength. Number 2 is persistent poor sleep. This is one of the easiest problems to dismiss because tiredness can slowly become your new normal. You wake up feeling heavy. You need more tea or coffee to get going. You lose focus in the afternoon, and by evening, you are exhausted but still unable to sleep properly. If that sounds familiar, ask yourself a simple question. Do you wake most mornings feeling reasonably refreshed, or do you begin the day already tired? Sleep is not simply a period when nothing happens. While you sleep, your body carries out important work linked with memory, immune function, blood pressure, metabolism, and physical recovery. Research has linked consistently short or poor quality sleep with a higher risk of several health problems, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, mood difficulties, and poorer cognitive function. But after 60, poor sleep is not always caused by staying up too late. Pain may wake you. You may need to pass urine several times during the night. Some medicines can affect sleep. Stress can keep the mind active. And conditions such as sleep apnea can repeatedly disturb breathing without you fully realizing what is happening. That is why persistent poor sleep should not automatically be accepted as normal aging. Think about your nights. Do you snore loudly? Has anyone noticed pauses in your breathing? Do you wake with a dry mouth or morning headache? Do you feel extremely sleepy during the day even after spending enough time in bed? These signs do not diagnose sleep apnea, but they are worth discussing with a healthcare professional. Sleep also affects independence in ways many people overlook. When you are exhausted, balance may be worse. Reaction time can slow. You may be less motivated to walk, exercise, cook properly, or meet other people. Over time, those small changes can affect your strength, confidence, and ability to manage daily life. There is another reason to take sleep seriously. A bad night does not stay in the bedroom. It follows you into the next day, affecting patience, concentration, appetite, movement, and the confidence to do things for yourself. So what can you do? Start with consistency. Try to go to bed and wake up at similar times each day. Keep the bedroom dark, quiet, and comfortable. Limit caffeine later in the day. Avoid using alcohol as a sleep aid because it can make sleep more fragmented. And if you wake frequently, struggle to breathe at night, or remain very tired during the day, get it checked rather than simply pushing through. If you find this useful, subscribe to Senior Health for more practical guidance on staying strong and independent after 60. Now we come to number 1, and this final habit may be the easiest of all to overlook. You may do it while watching television, reading, traveling, eating, or speaking on the phone. It feels harmless, but when it continues for long periods without movement, it can quietly work against your health, mobility, and independence. Number 1 is too much uninterrupted sitting. This habit is easy to miss because sitting does not feel dangerous. You sit while watching television. You sit while reading the newspaper. You sit during long journeys, meals, phone calls, and conversations. And after retirement, many men simply spend more hours in a chair than they did when work kept them moving. Ask yourself this: how often do you remain seated for an hour or more without standing up? And when you finally rise, do your legs feel stiff, heavy, or slower than before? Long periods of sitting are associated with poorer metabolic health and a higher risk of several chronic conditions, especially when overall physical activity is low. But the concern is not only what happens inside the body. It is what prolonged inactivity can gradually do to daily ability. Your leg muscles help you stand from a chair, climb stairs, walk to the market, get into a vehicle, and recover your balance if you stumble. When those muscles are used less, strength and confidence can slowly decline. That can create a difficult cycle. You move less because movement feels harder. Then movement becomes even harder because you are moving less. For a man over 60, that matters. The goal is not to become an athlete. The goal is to keep enough strength and mobility to continue doing ordinary things for yourself. Research suggests that breaking up long periods of sitting with short bouts of standing or light movement may help improve blood sugar control and other metabolic responses. So start with something simple. If you feel safe, stand up regularly during the day. Walk around the room, stretch your legs, carry a glass of water to another room. Take a short walk after a meal. Even a few minutes of movement can be a practical way to interrupt long periods of stillness. If you have significant balance problems, a history of falls, severe joint pain, or difficulty walking, use something stable for support and do not push yourself beyond what feels safe. And remember, a walk in the morning does not necessarily cancel out an entire day spent sitting. Think of movement as something to weave through your day. Small interruptions, repeated often. That is usually more realistic than waiting for one perfect exercise session. Here is a useful challenge. Tomorrow, notice the longest period you spend sitting without getting up. Do not judge yourself, just notice it. Then choose one part of the day when you can interrupt that sitting with safe movement. If you're still with me, type move in the comments. Because maintaining movement after 60 is not only about fitness, it is about keeping the strength to rise, walk, travel, meet people, and manage your own daily life. And now that we have covered all 5 habits, there is one final question. Which of these habits is quietly taking the most from your health right now? And what should you change first, starting this week? Now bring all 5 habits together: excessive alcohol, chronic stress, social isolation and loneliness, persistent poor sleep, and too much uninterrupted sitting. None of these habits decides your future on its own. And noticing one of them in your life does not mean damage is already done. The purpose of this video is not to frighten you. It is to help you notice where your daily routine may be working against your strength, energy, confidence, and independence. So what should you do next? Start with 4 simple steps. First, look at your alcohol pattern honestly. If you drink, avoid large amounts in one sitting and consider adding alcohol-free days during the week. Second, protect your nervous system. Give yourself one period each day when you are not solving problems. Walk, pray, sit quietly, listen to music, talk to someone you trust. Third, protect your sleep and your connections. Keep a regular sleep routine and do not ignore persistent snoring, breathing pauses, or severe daytime tiredness. At the same time, make regular contact with people who matter to you. Fourth, break up long periods of sitting. If you feel safe, stand, stretch, or walk for a few minutes regularly through the day. Do not wait for one perfect workout. Movement can be built into ordinary life. These are small actions, but repeated consistently, they can support better health over time. Choose one habit first. Make one change you can repeat. Then build from there every day. You may not control every change that comes with age, but your daily choices can still support how well you move, think, sleep, and live independently. Some symptoms should never be treated as ordinary aging. If you develop sudden weakness, significant chest pain, severe breathlessness, or sudden difficulty speaking, seek urgent medical help. Other changes need a medical checkup even when they are not an emergency. Repeated falls, major changes in walking, unexplained weight loss, persistent severe fatigue, or new memory decline should be checked, especially if they are new or worsening. If this video helped you, give it a like and share it with someone over 60 who may benefit from it. After 60, the goal is not to chase your younger body. The goal is to protect what matters now: your strength, your independence, your confidence, and your ability to keep showing up for the people and the life you still care about